Hello and welcome to this edition of Panther News Nation. I'm Paris Patterson.
And I'm Parth Patel. Here's a look at what's happening around Principia. Volleyball has gotten off to a strong start this year. In our special segment, From the Sidelines, Derek and Emery went courtside to find out why.
I'm here with team captains Natalie Hardy and Ellie Church after our game against Brentwood. Just tell me, how are you guys feeling right now?
I thought overall it was a super good game and our team played really well together today.
Even though we lost that third match there, we still came back and came out with the dub, so that's good.
When you guys are out in the court having a mental block, how do you guys get yourself out of that mindset?
A thing that I do is I like to just cheer my teammates on, because then it makes me forget about how I'm playing and how I'm in my mental block. So I just make sure to be like, hey guys, we got this, good set, good hit, all of that stuff, so then I don't have to think about my mental block.
Yeah. I would have to agree. I do the same thing.
When you guys are out there losing a game or having a really tough time, what is that feeling like when you get a really good hit or just a really good point?
Obviously, it's a relief to try to get us out of a funk if we are in one. It is inspiration. And it's like, okay, finally we got that one done. Let's clear our minds and think about the next point.
What have the responsibilities being team captain this year been like?
When you can see that the team is not doing well, it's our job to hype them up and get them ready for the next point. And then just other stuff, not really telling them what to do and bossy stuff like that, just being inspiration on the team.
Yeah, I would say being a support for everyone and then turning to everyone to hype them up if the energy is really low, and I think that's super important.
Shout out to the volleyball girls for their win against Brentwood. Be on the lookout for the next sideline report from us. This is Derek and Emery reporting for PNN.
Next week, we'll take you to the soccer sidelines.
Meanwhile, a new sport is once again back on the Principia campus, but you won't see any upper schoolers participating. Daniela brings us the story.
After 22 years, 2 middle schoolers brought back field hockey at Principia by starting a new team. I interviewed Peter Dry to take a deeper look into how the team is doing.
Very excited to be restarting the program because it was about, I think, over 20 years ago maybe that it kind of shut down. The adults didn't start it. 2 students did in the middle school, and they saw this field, they wanted to be part of it. They said, we really want a field hockey team.
Now, back yourself. You better than.
Well, in 6th grade, we were the first 2 to bring back the field hockey team, teaming up with Whitfield, and eventually we were just like, why don't we just have our own team? And so we got the student body interested, and now we have our own team.
It was like, oh, we don't have any funding, and there's not enough players. And these 2 young women, they just kept on going, and here we are.
I love that, even though we're, all different ages, and, we have some, lower schoolers as well, we're all still, a team, and we, bond really well together.
On the whistle.
I think as the numbers are growing in the upper school, which is so good to see, there's going to be space for another sport.
Obviously, as freshmen, we can't, form a new field hockey team, but we do have friends in higher grades in the upper school that can help us out.
I think the future is exciting for them, and they're going to help pave the way for that and make this happen.
This is Daniela Velasquez reporting for PNN.
Coach Dry says we'll have an upper school field hockey team in the near future.
Time now to get off campus and take a look at what's going on around St. Louis. Delos Reyes and I had to work up an appetite for this trip.
St. Louis's history with food was incredibly deep, with a rich history and diverse culture. From toasted ravioli to blueberry butter cake, there are many St. Louis staples. Today, we take a look at High Point, a local burger joint that has been in operation since the 1980s.
It's a family environment, period. It's fun. The Good Burger Core and stuff is a different environment. It brings back the watch a movie, The Good Burger.
Contrary to most new food chains, High Point still values the vintage 80s aesthetic. This is present in the food and in the drinks. At High Point, you can sit inside or outside. Even if you're just driving by, You can't miss the colorful and creative atmosphere of this place. This is Shreya, Stella, and Parth reporting from PNN.
And where are we going next week? Be sure to join us to find out.
We're seeing a lot more clubs around Principia this year. Some are brand new, others have been here for a while. And as Michael and I discover, some are making big changes.
For over 5 years, the difference has been key to building community at Principia.
I think it's just a space for people of color to come in and share their feelings about anything. It doesn't have to be negative. I feel like that's been something that's been a little put on us, and I don't want that this year.
In the past, the difference has been very academically centered.
It kind of drew people away from it just because we're in school and nobody really wants to do more school.
I want to celebrate the difference itself. We have a different student body than we had in the last 5 years. I feel a place that people just know that this is a space where it's safe for them. This is a space where it's fun and inclusive and they want to do it. Running events and getting the whole student body involved, I feel like that's the way to draw people in. My main priority is to make sure that in the next few years it's still going. People still want to lead this themselves.
Come and just come to a meeting. If you don't know, just come to a meeting. Everyone is so kind and welcoming, and it's a great space to be in.
For PNN, this is Paris and Michael reporting.
And finally, it's time to find out what's on Mrs. Dry's mind these days. Here's Holland and Reed with this week's Dry Care Factor.
Well, when kids wear headphones in the hallways and you're trying to interact with them, it's a big no-no. So the complaints about that, care factor, 0. Because there's so much that takes place in the hallways that's catching up with kids or letting them know things, and it gives the impression that you are just tuned out, not engaging, and that's a problem.
We then asked Mrs. Dry, why can't we wear Crocs in the school building?
It's just unprofessional. Do you wear sandals to soccer practice? Oh no! You don't. So it's about looking the part and being able to perform the function. And some kids will say, well, I don't need proper shoes to come to school. It's the look. It's the whole professional look. And so I need our students to look the part, and that means having decent footwear. Crocs are not decent footwear. Those are for the beach. Those are for picnics. Care factor on your complaining about Crocs? 0.
And that's our look at what's happening around Principia this week.
Make it a great week.
Back to the